Hey guys, welcome back to Tying Tuesday. My name is Kyle. Today we're going to be tying up the high-low fly. Really cool pike pattern from Nordic Anglers. I like to fish this fly on early ice-off when the pike are shallow. Also out of a boat with a really aggressive sinking line. But before I get started, we would love it if you would smash that subscribe button and drop us a like on this video. It helps the channel out a ton. Let's get started. So hook I'm using for this guy today is a TP 610 from Arex and a 4-aught. And I have a 5.5 Cyclops bead from Hairline on this guy in a black nickel color. Just gonna have to remember to debarb this hook or that bead is not going to fit over the hook. Thread I'm using for this guy is 100 denier nano silk in black. I'm gonna get my thread started right in about the middle of the shank there. Get a good thread base there. Cut out my excess tag. And then at this time I like to take a little bit of the Zap-A-Gap, brush on super glue, and just kind of hit my thread wraps there. With nano silk it helps out a lot. That nano silk is pretty slippery on hooks, and sometimes when you're done tying these flies, your materials can roll. So this helps that out a ton. So I'm gonna put a nice thread base on this guy. And then we're gonna tie on our first piece of material. The main body to this fly is going to be big fly fiber. I really like this stuff. Builds out a really nice bulky body and has really flat fibers at the bottom. It's going to give you that nice fish profile. You don't need a lot of this stuff. Take this, grab my scissors here, and cut that out. Tie this directly right in the center of the hook there. Nice tight wraps, just like so. Really wrench down on that. And this excess, we're gonna trim that out. Really good sharp pair of scissors is key for this guy. Clean that up a little bit here. And as I build this up, I'm definitely going to use super glue on all my thread wraps just to ensure durability here. So just hit it with a little bit of that. Some more thread wraps on there. A little bit of stragglers here, it's alright, you can just pull those out. Just like that. And we're going to keep building this body. I'm going to take a really healthy portion of this Magnum Flashabou, and this is the black holographic color. Kind of doing like a murdered out version of this fly. I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut it off. Take any of the small stuff out. And then what I like to do, I like to pull the ends here to give it a nice little taper. Just like that. And then we're going to tie this directly in front of that big fly fiber. So I like to go about halfway. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put some thread wraps in front here. The flash can get a little messy on you, so just take your time. Just like that. Looks good. And then I'm going to take my plunger tool here, which is just a hollowed out pen. This helps a lot trying to push these fibers back. And a nice clean tie. I'm gonna wrench this down. Just like so. And hit it with some more super glue on my thread wraps. Keep a nice little coat of thread. Like that. And then we're gonna add another chunk of this big fly fiber. Cut that off. And we're just gonna keep working our way forward here. Wrap that down. Try to keep this fiber on top of the shank there. Just like so. Cut out my excess. And that's another healthy portion of this Flashaboo again. You will go through a lot of Flashaboo when you're tying these flies, so just be aware of that. Cut that out. Do the same thing I did before, kind of taper these ends. That, we're gonna go right back over the top again here. Stuff can be a little tricky to get it all wrapped in, so like I said before, just take your time with it. So there we go. Lock this down. And repeat that same process with the hollowed out pen or tool, whatever you're going to use. Good thread wraps there, just like so. And then I'm gonna coat the rest of this hook shank all the way up behind that bead towards the eye there. Put another dab of Zap-A-Gap on my wraps there. Build up a little bit more thread here. And we're going to make a pretty healthy sized dubbing loop here. And this is what we're going to use to make our craft fur head on this guy. So one thing I've noticed when I'm tying these flies and using this craft fur, it does mat down pretty easy. I have this Schman dubbing twister here. This isn't a super heavy dubbing twister, so it kind of helps with not matting this down as bad. But what I like to do here, I like to take some of these long fibers, stick it in my finger, in between my fingers. Just like so. Take my scissors and just cut right behind my fingers here. Pull it away. Get some of that under fluff out, and loose fibers. And then we're gonna load this loop up. I'm gonna give this a spin and just slowly let that spin up there. And you are gonna lose a little bit of fibers, but that's okay. We can do another loop if necessary, which we probably will have to. But I like to take my brush, just tease these fibers out a little bit, get all those stuck long pieces out. And then we're gonna start wrapping this forward. And as I wrap, I'm gonna pull the fibers back. Capture this thread off with my thread, the loop, cut out my excess of the loop there. And we're still gonna have to add a little bit more to this, but that's all right. We'll just repeat that step. Make another loop here. Add our twister back, and then cut off another portion of this craft fur here. I'm gonna load my loop up here. Move this up here a little higher. Space it out. Give that a spin. Tease it out again with my brush. Just like that. And then we'll wrap again forward. I want it pretty snugged up against that bead, so as much material as possible. Just gonna really make a nice bulky head for this guy. Looks a little messy right now, but we'll do a last brush out here. Capture that thread off. A couple wraps there in front. Trim out my loop. Couple more wraps. Give this guy a whip finish. Pull tight. Take my thread out. And then give this head a nice brush out here. Alrighty, so now what I like to do, this big fly fiber is really long. It doesn't really taper that well, so we're gonna put a little bit of a taper on this fly. I like to kind of hang this upside down over a trash can, or your wife will be mad at you. And I like to take my longer scissors here, and I like to kind of just cut straight, kind of take my scissors and just kind of start cutting some of this off. I kind of have my scissors at an angle here, just kind of gliding them down. Looks pretty solid. Put that back in the vise there. Nice little look here. And there you have it, the high-low fly. Like I said, really good ice-off pattern for pike. Really good reservoir pattern. Fish this on a sinking line, a pretty aggressive sinking line or an intermediate, and it should get it done for you. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.